Hello guys, Making Magic here with another Unity 3D tutorial. Today we'll be creating a laser gun in Unity and it's gonna be quite awesome. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. Basically I was joking around with line render in Unity and I came up to an idea to create a laser gun. And I kinda made it, so here is the preview of how it will look like in the end. If I shoot, it shoots laser for me. If I press left mouse button, and it shoots these lasers. So quite cool, right? Okay, this is it for the preview. Let's just go ahead and create a new scene to start this project. I mean this tutorial. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna go to game object and create a plane just to create basic floor, and then gonna create another game object, 3D object cube, to create somewhere we'll shoot lasers, you know, to really I'm gonna okay, now this is done. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna go to assets and the prefabs. If you haven't, you have to import the package characters, and it would be nice to import also particle systems if you haven't yet. So go to prefabs and add your first person controller. So let's add him, and as you can see, his camera is pointing to the right based on my location. So what we're going to do next is we're going to create a gun for him. I already have a gun in my laser gun folder. So basically I'll be using this laser gun folder for this tutorial, and this laser gun folder is available for download on Mediafire. The link is in the description. But if you have your own gun, no problem, just follow the instructions. They are basically the same on no matter what gun you have. So we're gonna drag our cyber gun inside. You can use this gun for commercial use, whatever, personal, whatever you want. I created it for you guys, so I won't be using it because basically it took me it's a very simple gun, as you can see, low poly model of it. And yeah, change the rotation here on 180 so it's aligned with the position where with the direction where the player is looking. So go to first person controller, enter the child first person character, drag the cyber gun onto the first person character, set the position to 0 on all the axes, and we'll be using here we're gonna using 2x3 layout just to align the gun so it's perfectly positioned how we want it to be positioned, and align the gun basically however you like to. Just keep an eye on the lower part of the screen. I'm gonna be a bit shorting it, I think. Okay, I think this works for us. Let me just resize it a bit. Here you go. Now change the layout from 2x3 to default again, and next thing we'll be doing is we'll be creating the endpoint from where our lasers will shoot. Exciting, right? So yeah, let's just get right into it and go to game object, create an empty object and add it to cybergun. Basically I will position the object on the exact same location this cylinder here is, because I want my endpoint to be on this cylinder. So wherever you want your endpoint to be, just drag that game object and drag it on and leave it on that endpoint of your gun, or just position it by hand if you want to. I'm just gonna rename that endpoint. Great. Caps lock, not so great. And then change the position on all the axes to 0, so basically it's aligned with that endpoint. Gonna leave it as it is. Perfectly good. Now the next thing we want to do is we're gonna add a script I created for you guys. Basically, no, it's not that script. Excuse me. Laser gun tutorial, laser shoot script onto the endpoint. Basically, what this script does, it's let me just quickly open it up for you. I explained the script to detail in the script with these lines over here. Under each line is another line that explains the line above that line that explains the line, if you get me. Now, what this script does, I'm gonna just close it. What this script does is it instantiates an object on where the ray hit the collision of another object, and that object that it instantiated, it connects with another object that the gun instantiated on the position of the script, and this is and then that object that it instantiated it in where it hit the collision connects with a line renderer between two objects, and it creates a laser effect. It's quite simple, but if you are new to scripting, you can have some problems understanding the script. So no problem, I explain it in the script. And yeah, so this is it for now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create a particle system. So go to game object particle system, and a few things will change in this particle system. Over here is we're gonna change the duration to 1, and we're gonna change the lifetime to 1, and we're gonna change the speed to 0, and then we're gonna go to shape, and we're gonna go from cone to sphere, and we're gonna really be resizing it to the smallest size we can get. This is the smallest size I got, and so as you can see, radius, we're gonna leave that as it is, 1. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna set the looping off, check off the looping, and we're gonna go color over lifetime. Click this little bar over here, click this little square thing at the end, the one above this one. Basically they're the same, so change the alpha to 0 and drag the one on the lefty to the righty, then close it up. We're gonna change the starting color to something like sparks, and also we're gonna change the material. I said you have to import the particle systems if you want all the materials. So so materials, and here it is, particle after something, after burner. Okay, now we're gonna change the starting size to 0.2 for our needs, and we have the particle system. That's done, the spark's done. And what we're gonna do now is gonna go to game object, create empty, and drag it to particle system. We're gonna name this game object, actually we're gonna leave it as it is. We're gonna rename the particle system spark. Okay, great. We're gonna go to game object and reposition it, so 0 on all the axis, so it's in the middle of the action, in the middle of the spark. What you're gonna do now is we're gonna add line renderer. So go to add component, line renderer. We're gonna go to our laser gun folder, and I added a few materials for you guys in this folder, so just drag any of these, laser blue, laser green, or laser red, or line. I'll be using laser green, so I'll be just adding it as a material, and I'll be changing the start width to 0.2 and the end width to 0.2. Now we're gonna add a little script to work with this line renderer. So add component, lines. I already have the lines in the folder of laser gun tutorial, so add it. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna open it up and just say a few words. Basically what this script does is it draws a ray between it draws a line between 2 points, between point 1 and point 2, and that's all. I explained the script to detail in the file, so no need of that in the video. I'll be dragging as a projectile game object the game object itself, so just drag and drop it. Okay, just like that, simple. And now I'll be dragging the entire Spark into the assets folder to create a prefab. Now we can delete it. Okay, so we done that. There's one thing we have to do, the last thing, go to game object and create empty. Also this object will be renaming it to end, and we'll be tagging it end. So add a tag end and tag it end, and just drag it and drop it. Also we're gonna add a timed object destructor, so timed object destructor, and the timed object destructor, the timeout has to be set to the exact same time as the fire rate on the laser shooting script is. So end time object destructor, there's 0.5, we'll be changing that to 0.2. Okay, great. And end to 0.2, and we'll be dragging the end to our assets folder. Okay, we created that. A few minor things to make then. So go to Spark and go to game object and also add timed object destructor. Change the timeout to 0.2 as we did on the end object, so now we can delete the end. Okay, we did that, and basically the most important thing here is that you tagged the object end. It has to be tagged end, okay? Don't forget that. Now what we can make is we can add an impact object. So impact object is our Spark prefab. Go add Spark as an impact object. Cover is our end object, so cover. Now it should work. Yes, we have done everything. Let me see if it works. As you can see, it works quite well. It creates lasers wherever we hit the surface, and if we hold the button, it is automatic. But we should add some sounds to it, right, guys? So go to Spark, and we're gonna add an audio source. So audio source, where are you? We're gonna change the minimal distance to 12. Just that it isn't one. The sound is better, believe me. The audio clip, we'll leave that to play and awake. So we'll be just creating a simple, and add this sound effect I added into the prefabs folder, into the laser gun tutorial folder. You can add any sound effect. I downloaded that on Sound Bible, and it is not mine, but it works. As you can see, brilliant, right? Okay, you can mess around with settings if you don't like the effect, but I think it's quite desirable, and I think it looks quite nice. So thank you for watching, guys. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, if you like, you can share the video if you want to, and follow me on my social media accounts on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The links are in the description. Thank you for watching, and have a good time, guys. Bye.